Cyclone. Alfred has left hundreds of thousands of Australians without power after unleashing a fierce wave of wild weather along the east coast. The storm battered communities across southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales, leaving behind a trail of destruction that residents are just beginning to assess and clean up. By the time it made landfall near Brisbane on Saturday night, the storm had weakened to a Category 2 system and later downgraded to a tropical depression. But the damage was already done. Intense storm rains, destructive winds, and dangerous surf conditions caused severe flooding, uprooted trees, and brought down power lines across the region. Rising waters, and emergency rescues. In one terrifying incident, a vehicle became trapped in rapidly rising floodwaters in northern New South Wales. Emergency crews rushed to the scene, but the situation remained dangerous. In another alarming event, a military convoy involved in rescue and relief operations crashed near Lismore, approximately 200 kilometers south of Brisbane. The crash injured 12 soldiers, with 2 in critical condition as of Sunday. Emergency services responded to over 6,000 calls for help in New South Wales alone, with many of those calls coming from desperate residents trapped by floodwaters in their homes or vehicles. Queensland authorities carried out several high-risk rescues, including airlifts from rooftops and submerged vehicles. Power outages and infrastructure damage. Power outages remain widespread, with utility companies reporting that over 220,000 homes and businesses are still without power. Restoring electricity could take days, especially in heavily affected coastal towns where infrastructure has been severely damaged. Government response and public warnings. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has warned residents to remain vigilant as severe weather conditions persist. The danger isn't over yet, Albanese said, urging residents to take all necessary precautions. Meteorologists are forecasting that while the storm is weakening, heavy rainfall and strong winds could still worsen already fragile ground conditions, increasing the risk of landslides and further flooding. Massive recovery efforts underway. Recovery efforts are expected to be extensive, with emergency services working around the clock to clear debris, restore power, and provide aid to displaced families. Local governments have established relief funds to support affected communities, and emergency shelters have been set up for those who have lost their homes. Despite the destruction, Queensland police have reported no fatalities or missing persons so far. However, with floodwaters yet to fully recede and significant structural damage reported in multiple communities, authorities are preparing for a long and challenging recovery. Communities come together. Amid the devastation, stories of resilience and community spirit are emerging. Volunteers are helping neighbors clean up debris and providing food and water to those in need. Emergency crews continue to work tirelessly, providing assistance and conducting search and rescue operations in the hardest hit areas. As floodwaters begin to recede, residents are left to assess the full scale of the damage. The road to recovery will be long and difficult, but communities across Queensland and New South Wales are already coming together to rebuild. The coming days and weeks will test the strength of the affected communities, but with resilience and support, recovery is underway.
I was gonna park my car here. It's absolutely overflowing. And poor car is this car. Oh my gosh. And that's the street. I'm up to my past my knees.